Welcome to a brand new episode. It's so great to see you again. If you're new here, welcome to the conversation. You're listening to The Priming by Ibalai Studios. So, hello. We're in the presence of royalty right now.
Yeah, say that again. Okay. Whatever happened to modesty? What? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're in the presence of royalty. I'm with a great friend right now. Someone who actually inspires me a lot. I don't know if he knows this.
Yes,
I even don't know how to introduce him. CG, I feel like if I do it, I'll not do much justice. So I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So, how many times have I ever introduced myself? Normally, introductions are done on my behalf. So, yeah, my name is Nasibi. For the purpose of this podcast, or for the purpose of this session, I'll see what's relevant. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm a recording and performing artist as well. Mm-hmm. I am a fitness enthusiast and also a fashion enthusiast.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, that's him being modest.
Yes, that's me being modest.
Yeah, karibu sana to The Priming. I'm so happy to host you today. It's something I've been waiting for the longest time, just having guests on the podcast. And yeah, I'm so glad that we've managed to do this. I'm not sound engineer. Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of troubles here connecting and everything, but yeah, finally we're here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here as well.
Yeah. I'd love to ask you something simple about your music.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a year now?
How long have I been doing this? Because I think it's in stages as well. Mm-hmm. The part where people have seen me is from 2022 January. So that's 1 year for the whole of 2022. The whole of 2023. So 2 years.
2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years.
Hey, time flies.
Yeah.
Time flies.
I remember. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah, I remember when you started. I even can't believe it's been 2 years.
Yep, it's been 2 years. This is third year. So I'm currently on my third year actually, because I started in January. So January 6th is when I released Anakongoja. But of course, before then, there was a lot of practicing, hitting the studio and all that. So putting that aside,
yeah,
just the part where I've done my music, I've released it. It's out there. It's been 2 years. This is the third year.
Crazy. How's been the journey so far?
The journey has had a lot of ups and downs. Honestly, it's I think, and it was actually funny enough. I was thinking about this yesterday. Mm-hmm. That as I began, it was all roses and flowers, because you're starting and everything is so new and everything is so beautiful. Because now it's like, this guy listened to your song, anasema hivi, mwingine ameona video yako anasema hivi, and everything is happening for the first time. If 100 people like your song, it's the first 100 people,
Yeah.
When you do it for 2 years and 100 people like your song, you'll be like, I'm not moving the songy. I get. Yeah. So at the beginning, it was butterflies and roses and all nice. But as I went on, I realized that I have a lot of work to do, and sometimes, if I'm being very honest, that work can kind of like discourage you sometimes. Like, I want to be like Nyashinsky, for example. I want to be like BM. I want to be like Ethan or Kinoti or something. And you're like, hey, I saw my song wako so far ahead. Will I be able to get there? So, of course, as I always say, comparison is a thief of happiness.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it's also very pertinent to compare yourself to people you want to be like, so that you see what they're doing. So, anyway, point is, sometimes it gets a bit tough. But, I just think it's the challenge is usually staying disciplined and motivated, and I think I usually try my best to stay disciplined and motivated, do things that kind of like take me to that path. And what I usually do, especially right now, is like look back and be like, okay, 1 year ago nilikuwa naimba hivi ama nilikuwa naandika hivi, right now I can see that my writing has evolved. I have people who have heard me sing. You've heard me sing. You've heard me write songs even before we started releasing songs. And people would be with such people and they'll tell you, hey, by the way, unaweza kufanya hivi, and then you're like, oh damn, I wasn't able to sing a certain way, but right now I can sing that way. I wasn't able to perform, or the first performance that I had looked something like this, and now the performance that I have right now is amazing. So I feel like, I think that's where the beauty is. It's like kind of like, even when I get discouraged, I'm usually like, yeah, nimesonga a few kilometers or miles, you know, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned the evolution in the way you do your music. What can you attribute that to?
I think I can say also, first of all, I think it's listening to a lot of music as well. How do I get there? You know, like you listen to, and that's why I'm saying comparison is pertinent. You have to compare yourself to other people, because it's like, I want to sing a certain way. What is she doing that I've not been able to do yet that I can do to get better? So listening to a lot of music has really helped me, and I'm like, okay, nimesikia mse akiimba hivi, and I want to deliver my music a certain way, or I want to be able to write a certain way, and I start practicing to write that way. You get me? Yeah. So there's that. There's also, as I said, discipline, and kind of like motivating and pushing yourself. It's kind of like these two small things that people do, that do not feel like they have a lot of impact until you do them for a whole year, and then you're like, oh yeah, when I was starting this, I wasn't able to do it, but right now I can. So it's things like these small singing exercises. Like right now I'm doing one that usually takes me 20 minutes. I actually do two. So one takes me 20 minutes, the other one takes me around like 13 minutes.
What's that?
Singing exercises. So to our previous school of YouTube, there's this one that has a couple of exercises. So maybe a few for range, a few for vocal agility, a few for, I don't know, musical things that you want to achieve, you know. And then there's one where I'm practicing something that we call runs, riffs and runs. So doing that every single day, and even if it's not every single day, it's like maybe 5 times a week over a period of 1 year. When I do it for 1 week, I don't feel anything. I don't feel like there's a change, even after I've done it for a whole week. But after you've done it for like 3 months straight, unaanza kuona, oh, I remember the first time I wasn't able to do this very well,
but right now so easy.
Yeah. So there's that. There's exercises about writing songs. Like now I'm doing a challenge for trying to write 300 songs this year.
300 songs?
Yeah, 300 songs.
That's a lot of songs.
Yes, a lot of songs. So the year has 66 days. So it's like I'm giving myself an allowance of 60 songs, so that it's kind of like writing a song every day. So will I be able to get there? I hope so. You know, but it's me trying to get there. It's me exploring different ways of writing. Because normally I'm a guy who's learned how to write. First of all, actually the way I used to write kitambo before, when I was still in high school, was just I didn't know how to play an instrument. It was just singing. It was just a melody comes to my head and naanza kuimba.
You didn't play any instruments? Like
I didn't play any instrument. Nikiwa high school, no, I didn't know how to play anything. So niko tunaimba, like I just loved music, and I would listen to some songs and be like, nataka kuandika ngoma kama hii siku moja. One day I want to write like this. You get me? So sometimes two melodies ingenikujia na ningetry kuandika, you know. So that's how I started writing. And for the longest time, even before I learned how to play, even before I released my first song, because the first song that I released is a song that I wrote in high school. Even after that, the songs that I used to write were kind of like, melody comes first, I sing that melody, I look for someone who knows how to play the guitar, I'm like, hey man, this melody up, baby, and I sit here and I'm like, oh, this sounds good, and then I move from that. So that's the way I started writing. And as we were talking about evolution, actually I remembered that that's how I started writing. But when I started learning how to play the guitar, I have a mix of both. Sometimes naweza kukomata tu melody nikujie, ni record your melody kwa simu nikuje nitafute chords. Sometimes I would just take the guitar, I try and play something somber, or I play something happy, and I feel words up with you. Yeah, so it's just the same thing right now. It's like me exploring new ways of writing. Of writing my song.
And do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Do I remember the first song I ever wrote? It's a good question. I can't remember the specific first song I ever wrote, but I do remember some of the first songs that I wrote back in primary.
Yeah. How do you feel about them right now, considering
trashy songs? My God, terrible songs. They were gospel songs at least. Some of you at least, gospel songs. Yeah.
Yeah, they say kila msanii huanzia kanisani.
Yeah, kila msanii huanzia kanisani. So me look gospel song kuandika na boys wangu fulani. Primary ilikuwa itwa Victor. Bado itwa Victor, of course. Yeah. We used to write gospel songs. He used to rap, and I was just fascinated with the way this guy was writing at such a young age, And
how young?
Class 5, 2011. I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, I was actually 10 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
So
10 years old.
A 10-year-old, when he writes a song, what factors affect the kind of songs he writes? Is it something that he thinks deeply about?
Nah, I don't think at that time you even think about anything deeply. I just think you're just living, Like, I will say at that time, mostly what you're taught by your parents at that time and what you see. For me, my mom was and is still very religious, so ilikuwa kwenda church, and I also, that school that I was in was a Christian school. It was Christian school, Like it was very strict on Christianity and raising up the child in a Christian manner. So that was what was surrounding my life at the moment. So I just ended up writing about that. Yeah, and in the high school now you have different things. Unaanza kuona academy, unaanza kuona ananifurahisha jo, you want to write something about the Chile, Yeah.
So when you're writing something, sorry, I can't relate, but when you're writing something about a girl, are you writing for the girl, or you're writing about how you actually feel?
That's actually a very good question, because I remember there's a time in most of my songs, in most of my songs, I'm not writing about one girl. I'm writing about, like, I don't want to say like a crazy number, but I'm writing, like, for example, about 3 or 4 girls,
Yeah.
Because I have had experiences with these girls, and if it's a heartbreak song, and all these Chiles broke my heart one way or the other, there are things that Chile number 1 reminds me, Chile number 2 reminds me, so unazieka kwa ngoma zote pamoja. So it's not necessarily for one person.
So the girl is a collective of all.
Yeah, so the song is a collective of all these girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, sometimes that's usually mostly when I'm talking about maybe heartbreaks and all. But when I'm talking about like a love song, it's usually thinking about one girl. Yeah, and it's usually the things she has done, the things you want her to do, and how she makes you feel, basically.
Yeah.
Just trying to be a good storyteller, trying to tell you that I saw this is how she looked, this is what made me like her, and this is how she made me feel. And this is how I want to feel later on, and I want to keep her for the rest of my life. Simple. Yeah.
So I've been challenged to write a verse for a song. It's a cover. What advice can you give me if I want to? I've never done anything like that before.
Fair enough. What's the genre of the song?
It's more of a love song. It's a love song.
It's a love song.
Yeah.
So of course,
you're the guru there.
Yeah, for you, man. Mambo ya love song kidogo tunaandika love songs nyingi bana.
Yeah.
I would say, just try to be a good storyteller. Assuming it's just like this podcast. Assume no one can see you and no one knows you. So you have to tell the story in detail, properly. If she made you smile, don't just tell me she made you smile. Tell me your cheeks got tired.
Okay.
From smiling.
Yeah.
You get me? It's a bit more symbolic and a bit more imageable. Yeah. If you're telling me you're crying, because maybe your heart is broken or something, don't tell me you're crying, because it's easy. Everyone says that. Even a 10-year-old says that. Say maybe Say maybe your pillows were soaking wet, from your tears, because every night ukienda kulala ulikuwa unalia, something like that. It's more about telling the story in a way that is very imageable. So the minute you tell me that, na picture tu msa kwa kitanda amelemewa analia. You know, yeah, something like that. If you're telling me it's just like a composition nature. If you're telling me that she smelled nice, it's easy to say that she smelled nice. How about you tell me the smell of roses could not compare? You know, it's about poetry, some way of form.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
You know, I feel like you're already writing a song right now.
Ndio manze, yani kwa manze katunge kwa podcast ningechukua gitaa yangu nifanye kweli. Yeah.
And you also mentioned that you usually listen to a lot of songs that drive you to write the way you write. Yeah. So what kind of songs are we talking about here?
I don't imagine. Funny enough, I don't have a specific genre right now. I remember in my Spotify Wrapped in at the end of the year, I think I had listened to 3,500 artists. 3,000 artists? Yes, 3,500 artists. And that is, basically in a few months, in like 8 or so months.
That's a very big...
Yep, and these artists are... I wasn't just listening to one artist, one song now. Like, if I listen to an artist and he or she is good, you can end up page, I can listen to a whole album, something of the sort.
Yeah.
So it goes from reggae to dancehall, to Afro pop, to Kenyan pop, to indie, to R&B and soul, to really deep R&B, to old school kina Neo, na kina Chris Brown, wale wa kitambo, you know, to it's just.
So as you listen to these artists, is there something you're looking for?
No. I usually, sometimes there is. Yeah. But I usually try to keep an open mind designing. If I'm listening to, for example, Bien, I'm not even looking for anything. I'm just listening at the delivery, at everything. I'm looking at everything.
Yeah.
And nikianza kuangalia hivi ngoma niko like, oh nice, I like the way he delivered the chorus. Oh nice, I like the way I make ad-libs up, you know, like I don't go looking for something specific. However, sometimes I do. For example, there was a time I was trying to learn about delivery of music. If most singers that are listening to this podcast know a singer that's called Billie Eilish, the white Chile. She usually sings like she's dying, like it's her last breaths.
Yeah.
Like you can't whisper watu. Like to ako. You know, like, but it's very intentional. It's that's the delivery, you know. There are singers like Tom Walker who kind of like belts into the microphone, like kind of like you can feel the anger, and Lewis Capaldi can come a jam, you know. So all of these things are delivery. So there was a time I was trying to learn about delivery, and I went through songs looking for that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm looking for how is this guy delivering. If it's a song about happiness, and I embody. If it's a song about sadness, and I embody. If it's a song about death, and I embody. You know, because I can be sad and angry, and I can just be sad. Those two songs will be delivered differently. Yeah.
And now that you say that, I think that's where the personality of the artist comes through. So do you feel like that's something important? And for you, listening to your songs, okay, I don't know what your delivery style is, but listening to your songs, I feel like you usually, there's a lot of emotions in your songs, you know. And I feel like for you to show your emotions through your songs, you have to be very, very vulnerable singing them. And is that something that comes easy for you, or it just flows through you as you sing?
Yeah, I think first of all, yes, I think the goal that I'm looking for whenever, and that's what I was actually looking for when I was looking for those songs, delivering a certain emotion. So if I'm happy, I want you to tell that I'm happy. Listen to my song and know that this guy is happy, this guy is sad, this guy is broken, this guy is angry. You know, this guy is, in fact, if you can narrow it down, the better. Every statement that I say, even better. Then my work there is actually done. You know, that was the first thing I was looking for. So for me, I will say, it does come easy right now, because that's what drove me to music. The things that I was thinking are things that I could not say. thing that I could not communicate with anyone, you know. And it was like Santa do ntaambia na nitaongelesha nani, you know? And I just found them when I'm alone, they were flowing through my music. Yeah, and for me, my music is a very close friend to me. It's not just something that I do because I just want to do. It's very close to me because now I'm able to express my emotions. I'm able to express how I really feel. Yeah, it does come easy, that part when I'm sitting with my guitar and singing. The part that is hard is now putting it out there, especially the very, very first times. And I know that people who are listening right now and they can relate because it's something very personal. So kuiweka hapo hivyo nje inakuwa a bit difficult. However, you can always say that it's not about you. Hiyo ndio uzuri wasanii wanza hapa tu hivyo. Nasibi mwanzo nimesikia ngoma yenyewe ulifanyia, sikufanyia hivyo, you know. But deep down unajua ulifanyia hivyo. So you already released it and you're happy about it. So whenever I'm sad, whenever I'm angry, whenever I'm happy, when I write a song, it usually helps me deal with that emotion because it's kind of like an acceptance. If you're sad, when you lose someone you love, you're usually told that kuna one stage ya denial and then kuna part ya acceptance.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it helps you to accept that this is actually happening. It's like kind of like you talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
From what you're saying, music is actually quite important for you when it comes to your mental health.
Yes, music is important. Is important to me, and even to everyone. Like, it's been proven scientifically that music actually changes the way you see the world. If you listen to songs that degrade women, you will start degrading women for sure. Yeah. If you listen to songs that uplift women, you will start uplifting the women in your life. It just happens like that. If you listen to songs that talk trash about your country, you feel like your country is trash. But if you listen to songs that kind of like talk about the positive things that are happening in your country, itaenda tu hivyo pia. So music kind of like helps you and helps a lot of people, kind of like influences, let me say that, influences how we see the world.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. And but I love I remember some months ago, I was telling you I'm looking forward to when I can be going to your Spotify page and just click play. And right now,
it was, I think it was a year ago, bro.
It was a year ago.
A couple of months. It was for sure. It was, I think, 2022. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and I'm so happy right now that when I go to your Spotify page, there's a couple of songs there I can actually press play.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, that's good. And I'm also really, really happy and kind of like something that I've always said is sometimes I usually get demotivated and najua that there are people who have a lot of faith in me, and like I'm not gonna let you guys down just because I feel demotivated today. You know, like I want to also, you know, do my fans justice. You know, like people who can't wait to listen to my music. Yeah, I want to put more music out for you guys. Yeah, so at least I say tunasonga pole pole. So I have maybe like, I don't know, 20 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes worth of song, you know, on Spotify and on YouTube. Of course, I genie way more, but audio streaming platforms, it's not even an hour yet. You know, like I don't have an hour's worth of music in these platforms yet. The amount of love and the amount of strides that I'm seeing, I just say it's very encouraging, and I honestly can't wait to do more. By the time I'm getting to 1 hour's worth of music, you know, just in Spotify, most people would have already caught on to my music and kind of like give it the attention that it deserves.
And I love your music. You're doing really great. Asante. And the layer to Evo. You're going places.
Amen.
And
preach.
And you've mentioned you're looking forward to having an hour's worth of music online. Can you shed some light on if we should be expecting anything, or we have to wait and, you know, 2024 is a new year?
But wewe ni mjanja, je, unaniuliza swali unajua jibu. But I definitely want to my goal for this year is to do a project, honestly. So I'll tell the people out there that doing a project is not as easy as people make it look. You know, like, so when you go to studio to record, to release, no, it's very hard doing a project. and by project I don't even mean an album, I just mean an EP, like maybe 6 or so songs, 4 to 6 songs. It's not a joke. And, you know, you have to make sure that the songs zimepangwa vipoa, the delivery is correct, especially if you're taking your craft seriously. If you're doing it for fun, then in 2 days. But if you're taking your craft seriously, it's a lot of work. And my goal for this year is to do a project. And my goal for this year is Nikwen at least 100,000 streams for this year, because right now I'm at like 23,000.
23,000.
Yeah,
that's
so
a lot of streams.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, knowing that your music is playing somewhere? Oh, but there's one time I was walking in some streets. I passed some. I don't know where you work out, but I had your music playing there. Then I said, must be here. Enough vibe.
Yeah, so it actually feels really nice, honestly. Because it's the reason why we also do this, other than, as I explained earlier, the release and kind of like dealing with the emotions. It's also to enable other people to deal with their emotions. I've done a song. I've written songs about death. I've written songs about being happy, songs about being sad. And there are people, not even there, people do go through these things every day of the week, every hour of the day, across the world. 8 billion of us kuna emotions, kila mtu na go through different emotions at different minutes. So if I'm able to get to these people, people who feel lost, people who feel broken, people who feel happy, people who feel sad, people who want to express love to their partners and are not able to properly, if I'm able to use my music as a channel to do that for them,
well and good.
Yeah, well and good. That's the whole idea. You get me? Yeah. So it actually feels nice to know that there are people who are actually playing my music and resonating to my music, because that's the whole idea. Anyone who tells you that they're doing music, they're putting it out there and they're just doing that for themselves, it's kind of a lie. Because why are you putting it out there? So it's not you're putting it out there, it's for other people. The minute I finish writing my song and put it out there, the song is no longer mine. Ngoma inakuwa yako. Kuna some umesikia ngoma zangu hata more times than mimi nimesikia na mimi nimeimba na mimi ndio mwenye ngoma, you know, because it resonates. It might be even deeper for them than it is for me, you know. That's even possible. But yeah, that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend about a friend was asking me, so the exhibition that I had that's actually winding up, a friend asked me how I feel about letting go a specific piece that she kind of knew the story behind it, and she felt like it's actually a piece of me. And yeah, when she asked that question, kind of realized that the work I create, I don't own it. It belongs to the universe. That's so true. I must be willing to just submit it to the universe, because I'm just a vessel of letting it out.
Exactly. That's fact, bro. Because even as songwriters, the mistake that some songwriters make is thinking that their music has come from them. It hasn't come from. It has come from the universe. It has come from outside. You know, you're just a vessel of expressing that. You know, of course, you have a part to play in how you deliver that music. But it's not majorly you, it's majorly the universe, your experiences, you know. Even in another universe, if you believe in parallel universe, okay, like in another universe where there's another Nasibi, he's living.
Do you believe in parallel universe?
No, I don't. But I'm not close to the idea that never go. But personally, I don't. And the reason I don't is because I've not done enough research on it. You know, but once I do, I might. Who knows? Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's cool. So yeah, like Sasa, for example, if
there's another Nasibi
in another universe, there's another Nasibi that is going through different experiences, and he cannot be the same songwriter as myself. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Maybe he's not even a songwriter, you know, just solely because of the experiences. You get me? So the experiences from the universe are paramount. Isn't doesn't drive every single thing that you're doing, the art that you're doing, the music that you're doing, you know. And once you've done it, it's no longer yours. You have to give it back now for someone else to experience it in a completely different way. You can write a song last Ebana Boy. Msana anaandika ngoma kama amelemewa, ako heartbroken, na inakuwa club banger. People dance in the club to the song. You get me? It's because the minute you write the song, release the song is no longer yours.
And apart from the church and and your friends who used to do music, do you have any other influences from childhood that led you to do music?
Yes, actually, starting from my sister to, because I'm in the last born, so kulikuwa na siblings kadhaa hapo hivyo juu. So my sister and my cousin only the foundation ya Mangoma. They used to listen to Westlife. Do you remember Westlife?
Yeah, Westlife.
Yeah. Can't believe that I'm a fool again. Hey, Buddha was all gonna remember, my God. So Westlife and Backstreet Boys. My sister and my cousin wanna grow up pamoja. Wakatuanzisha. After that, my brother came through with hip hop. The time hip hop na zile ngoma za kina Major gengi but siku resonate na kina Major sana. Nikaanza kupenda hip hop. Soft rock artists that we all know. Kina Coldplay. Which other guy? Daughtry. I don't think au wengine zani mnajua Gavin DeGraw. Just artists walikuwa nasikiza XFM. Kuna walikuwa nasikiza XFM tukiwa kidi. Hao sasa ndio najua soft rock. So I started listening to Goo Dolls. Yeah. So hiyo ni soft rock, like very nice, somber music, and the lyrics were very well thought out. Like how kwa tunaimba tu kujaza nini bars walikuwa na naandika, and that's the first time I say to myself that I want to write a song like these people. As a kid I would listen to the lyrics and be like, wow, sana nikaje hivi. How? Explain to me how this guy can write like this. Mtu anaandikaje hivi? You know? And I was like, siku moja nataka kuandika hivi. Na nataka, and I actually used to tell myself, nataka watu wapende wimbo zangu the way mimi napenda ingoma, because I knew that my love for those songs were genuine. I didn't know about my brothers, not about my sisters, but I knew that I loved these songs. I told myself that I want to write songs that people would one day love the same way that I love this song. Yeah.
And did you have a musician in your life as a kid, maybe in your family, someone you looked up to?
In my life as a kid, our family doesn't have a lot of musicians. Extended family, yes. Extended family ndio start kuna bien. So at that time kuna bien walikuwa wanafanya lazizi, you know. And tungemwona TV, he would, so uko Shags, tungepatana Shags a few times. And we'll be like, so at that time I wasn't like, cause also Kenya ilikuwa painted kwa vichwa zetu ni you cannot be a musician. You know, like msanii ni maybe ameshindwa kusoma, ameshindwa na masomo, you know, endo kuwe architect, endo kuwe engineer, endo kuwe lawyer na daktari and things like that. Yeah, so at that time I would never have thought that in terms of kufanya music, and I would even consider doing it full time. Did you get me?
At one point did it become real for you, that you realized, hey, I can actually do this as a career?
I think is at that point when I started listening to a lot of music, and especially Kenyan music, and I would be like, this is nice, but nazaimba better kuliko huyu. This is nice, but nazaandika better kuliko huyu. This is nice, you know, and I would just be like, I don't know if it was overconfidence or what, but I had it. I was like, mimi nazaandika better kuliko 90% of these wasanis that are making it out here. So let me try and see what I got, you know. And it just started as something that I do for fun. And nikitumia say people would encourage me, be like, yeah, ndo release, tunataka kusikia hii, you know.
Yeah.
Na hivyo tu kijokes nika release ngoma ya kwanza. Yeah, and when I was doing that, I was just doing it as a tryout. I wasn't like, let me do this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this as a career. No, I was just doing it like, acha tucheke Kenya sasa sema. And the response was crazy. When I did my first gig, the response was crazy as well. I think I sold out my first gig. Like hiyo venue nilikuwa na hosting like maybe 80 people, and nika book show, and I was like, mimi hata wase wakifika hata wase 30. And I remember that time when I was booking, I was counting actually people, and I was counting my friends. I was like, Derek atakam, Shadia atakam, nani Lady atakam, Esther atakam, Joy atakam, you know, and I count like maybe 20 people.
Yeah.
But when you're still gonna buy matiko, even it's like now you telling your friends about me.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing names that I've never seen in my life, and that kind of like tells me that you have faith in my music, because why would you advertise something that you don't even like, you know?
True.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh damn. So say organizer and Nasibi, congratulations, you sold out your first show, and I'm like, what do you mean I sold out my first show? Like tiko zote zimechukuliwa, acha nipigie venue niwaulize kama wanaweza ongeza space. And I was like, are you serious?
So that time you're working with was it Kike?
Yeah, that time ni Kike. So Amanya ndo akanipigia. So akiniambia hivyo, and then so your time ilikuwa Kike, and then show ilikuwa nini your home ground move cafe. Yeah, shout out to kina Kags na DJ Red and the team huko hivyo, they really dope people. So yeah, so that time akinipigia hivyo akaniuza kuna watu wenye wamekwambia bado hawajabuy ticket ama tufanyaje? Nikamwambia manzi kuna mabishta wangu kadhaa hawajabuy, kuna watu wameniambia hawajabuy wataka 10. So space had to be to nini iongezwe. Yeah, and I think people came around like maybe 90 or so.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's my first show, and I was like, god damn. There's actually something nice here, you know.
How was that experience performing? Did it affect how you performed or how you...
It definitely affected how I performed. Because ukijua unaperformia watu mbao alafu watu so akuje utapigwa hapo hiyo ka shock flani stage, you know. So I remember my first performance was, at the time it was perfect. I did my best I could, but in retrospect of course it was terrible, because like that was my first performance ever. Like I never performed before people, you know, especially people who have paid to come and see you perform. You know, that's another kind of pressure. If I find people sitting there and I go and perform, that's different. But if people pay money, travel from different parts of the country to come and listen to you, you need story, you need pressure, you can't mess up.
True.
But this is not a joke, it's not free. I have paid good money, I have lipa transport, na nimenunua chakula hapa ndo nikusikia alafu imbe vibaya, you know. So it was a lot of pressure. I remember time nilikuwa nimevaa denim jacket, for hizo denim na wool. Time nilianza kuimba immediately. Nilikunywa imagine nikaanza kuimba immediately, mdomo wangu kakauka, koi kakauka. Nikaanza kusweat na bado nilikuwa nasikia baridi at the same time. Didn't know what was happening, bro.
Yo.
Ndilemewa manzi. And nilishika nimeshikilia hivi mic tu, you know, of course. Watu hizi wanake inafanya, but nimeshikilia mic na mikono mbili. Nikutu hivi naimba hapo hivyo. I wasn't moving until the last song na kungoja. At least niliweza kusonga because people knew the song and people came and danced with me, and the crowd was amazing. And if any of my friends who are or my fans who are the first show anasikiza hii podcast, man, you guys are the best, man. The best because they made it magical for me. It was like,
I remember when you're performing na kungoja, like everybody was there. Everybody was there. Everybody was singing.
Crazy. It was crazy.
I think Nakungoja is your most iconic lyrical music so far.
Yeah, I think the reason is because it's the first song. Even if I did Kitanda Baridi as the first song, it would have been it would have had the same effect because it's the first song. It's the one that catches people by surprise. It's like Nasibi alikuwa naimba. Manzi Nasibi alikuwa naimba, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Nasibi kumbe naimba. You know, like they caught you by surprise. So it's like simi nilikuwa nacheza sasa nimemada chuo, but nilikuwa nacheza baki. So I had to choose between basketball and music. So I had to cut basketball off, of course, because now I'm doing music.
Yeah.
So nikaacha kucheza baki. So bosi coach alikuwa anajua tukana Nasibi mwanacheza baki, and it's that day flani after sijui how long ago nikapata mtu now I think it took an exam or something, and they were surprised. They were like, Nasibi mwanzo kutoka unaimba, you know, and they're like surprised. It's because you wouldn't see me in the city and be like, oh, we are naimbanga. No. Ronaldo just like a normal guy, you know. So it was kind of like took everyone by surprise. I think that's why it's also like that. Plus it was a very good song as well. It is still a very good song, and I'm very proud of it. And one thing that I told myself kitambo was, I don't want to write a song that nikilook back and go like, god damn it, nilikuwa nafanya nini. I want to write a song and be like, even 10 years from now, it'd be like, the song isn't according to my standard right now, but at the time the song did what it was supposed to do, and it was a good song, and it's still a good song, and I am still proud of the song. Yeah.
And I'm thinking when you're dropping Nakungoja, you also have a couple of other songs that you've written, right?
Yeah.
So how did you decide this is going to be my very first song? Because I'm thinking that's also kind of a big decision.
Actually, shout out to Dili ndio ali decide ngoma gani itakuwa kwanza. The song that I wanted to do first was Stay. So tukaenda studio, so mimi na Shadi guitarist wangu anaitwa Shadrack. So tukaenda naye studio, Dili akaniambia so nataka kufanya ngoma gani kwanza, nikamwambia ndio mimi nataka kufanya. So actually kwa mimi guitarist wangu na bro yangu. So bro yangu anapenda ngoma fulani inaitwa Wangu. I'm gonna release it yet, I'll release it soon. Mimi nilikuwa napenda Stay. I think Shadi ndio anapenda na Kungoja. If I'm not wrong. No, Shadi pia alikuwa anapenda Stay. So tukaenda kwa perform Didi Stay. Nikamwambia okay, sawa. Is there another song so that we choose from 2 songs? Azizi akuniuliza hivyo. Alikuwa amesikia bro wangu akisema Wangu. So Didi akamwambia hebu cheza hiyo Wangu yenyewe nani hizo anasema. So tukacheza Wangu. And I okay, so that we just choose from 3 songs, play another one. And then I was like, "Sasa nicheze ngoma gani nyingine?" Oh, cheza na Kungoja. Cheza na Kungoja. Didi akasema, hiyo ndio tunaanza nayo. It's just like that. Tukaanza kwa on the song.
That's crazy.
Really?
That's crazy. It's so random, but yet so... Life is very magical, you know? Just how things unfold, how things come together.
It's actually very crazy. And if you don't take time to see, to like focus on them, itakupita. You won't see the magic. Yeah, because they're in the same way, there are very many things to be complaining about and to be angry about.
Yeah.
But if you take your time and look at the magical things, you'd actually be surprised.
And do you have time scheduled up for like reflecting on what's happening? Do you ever sit down and reflect on what's happening over a long period of time or daily, or you just go on with what you're doing?
That's actually a very good question. I actually do take time to reflect. I usually take time to kind of like reflect and see what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, and what should I stop doing, what should I continue doing. So it's like, how is my music doing? How is my writing going? How is my singing going? And that's why I'm telling you, it's actually what I said as we were starting. I like sitting down and looking back and telling myself, okay, as much as siko mali nataka kukua, I am where I'm supposed to be right now. And have moved. Progress is everything.
Yeah.
Progress is everything. You know, if you're doing something over 1 year and you're not moving, achana nayo. But if you can do something for 1 year and you see evidently and people around you see it and tell you that you're Nasibi umesonga. So it's the same thing. I'm actually on a weight gain journey. It's very very hard to hear those words. It's going on a weight loss journey kila time. And I'm trying to add weight because I was very scrawny and small, especially when I was starting uni, if you remember.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to add weight for the longest time, and this year I'm taking it a bit more seriously. Already nishaongeza weight, so I'm happy about that. And it's the same thing with that. You go to the gym, you won't see a change today, you won't see a change tomorrow, you won't see a change after 1 week.
Yeah.
But after 3 months or so, utaanza kuona, hii shati ilikuwa baggy, sasa naona ni kama naanza kuijaza. You know? Hii short ilikuwa inapeperuka na upepo. Sasa at least inanishika. Unacheki. So it's usually your small progress. You see you've been doing something, you see progress, it kind of like motivates you and keeps you disciplined. It actually keeps you disciplined. It kind of like gives you a framework, tells you that hapo ni mahali unaanguka. You know, if you look back, you'll say, for example, using that gym analogy, you look back and say, shati zangu size zina fit, lakini shorts zangu bado hazifit. So you know, you've been going to the gym, there is progress, but only your upper body is making the progress and your lower body ina sleki. So kwa program yako utakuja uandike, train lower body a bit more, do leg work a bit more so that you kind of like balance. It's the same thing with music. You will notice that maybe your voice is getting better, but your lyrical content is the same. Your music is not doing as well, or your lyrics are not doing as well. You're not getting anything from your lyrics compared to how you're writing kitambo. You know, and be like, okay, as much as naimba vizuri, let me now focus on my lyrics, or let me focus on both and not forget my lyrics. Maybe your performance was terrible, and right now your performance is still terrible. Even if you progress in your lyrical content and you're singing, you have to redo the performance because it's an all-round kind of thing. Yeah.
And you mentioned balance. How do you balance between your music and your personal life, you know? Because for an artist, you can say that you actually live a life of art, that everything you do actually feeds to your music and everything that's around you. But to some extent, you also have to have some sort of balance so that the two can actually coexist together. How do you work out that?
I will say that I won't lie. I think that has been the most challenging part, if you ask me. Straight up from schoolwork. Kwa times ningeachana na music. Guitar iko tu kijani, but I would have never touched the guitar because you have schoolwork and you're not in the right frame of mind to even compose a song. So for me, it has always been a challenge trying to balance. But I think the best way that I've found is small incremental steps, as I was talking about earlier. Just say that every day I need to do 30 minutes of singing. So nizo vocal exercises zangu. Every day I need to write a song. You know, so that it's kind of like a solid framework that tells you, even if you're having a day that looks like this, try and look for 30 minutes and do this. Try and look for 1 hour and write this song. On the days you will not be able, you will go back to your drawing board and look back and say that on Tuesday and Wednesday sikuweza kuimba. So on Saturday and Sunday inafani compensate. Do you get me? Yeah. So I think that's what has helped me balance a little bit, because as you've said, kind of like, especially when you, I think kuna hizi trend imekuwa go around. Of course I'm an artist. Of course I'm broke. I'm an artist. Of course I write songs and never release them, you know? And one of the things that has always been there for artists are broke. People keep saying that because you do everything for your music. You know, and sometimes your music doesn't do shit for you. That's the saddest part. So all your money you're getting, other than kulipa rent na kukula, money endi kwa acha nende ni buy nguo cheka mi kuzo yangu na bro wangu anapenda maviatu, so nenda na buy my kicks, you know. Sometimes I envy them. I'm like, god damn, I'm busy lazima release ngoma, I don't need to ninunue viatu pesa zangu tatu polite instead of kwenda studio, I get. But sometimes you go and feed your music, forget about yourself, and you end up feeding and there's nothing that is coming back to you. You know? So that balance is very important, and sometimes when the feel kama I'm overdoing on one side, you know. So I think Atabado for me, I wouldn't say that I've gotten that balance. It's only been 2 years. I still have a long way to go so that I can be able to balance. So it's something that I'm looking forward to working on as well.
Yeah, and apart from that, what else are you looking forward to in music, say in the next 5-10 years?
In the next 5-10 years, I'm looking forward to having an album, of course. Having a lot more music out there. I'm looking forward to working with various artists, collaborations. I'm really big on collaborations because the world cannot move without collaborations in any field: architecture, engineering, gardening, farming, whatever field you're in. I'm pretty sure this resonates. The world cannot move without collaboration, so I'm looking forward for a lot of collaborations. And I'm honestly looking forward to being able to go. I think I love more than, I think the second thing that I love most in music is performing. Like performing. If I could perform Monday to Friday, different places, I would.
That's coming.
I do, yes, and I can't wait for that. I do love being on stage, being with people, singing my heart out, people singing their hearts out. It's usually a full circle for me. It's a full circle moment for me. You know, it's like, the way you're saying, time nilikana kungoja nilikuwa tu solo shule. It was actually my brother and I kuandika tu. But now being able to sing this song in front of hundreds of people, in front of thousands of people, it's very magical. Yeah, it's like you doing your art. Ulifanya tu kwa keja peke yako. Alafu unapata kwa exhibit, and thousands of people have visited there, thousands of people have purchased it, thousands of people have wanted to purchase it. You know, it's a very big thing. Yeah, and it's actually sometimes shocking. I don't know if it's shocking or surprising, realizing that this thing is not, because when you're doing it, for you to be the best version of an artist of yourself, you have to create first for yourself. Then you allow that to resonate with other people. So when it comes to that part where it's resonating with a lot of other people that you're not expecting, it's like mixed feelings. Yeah, that's true. You're shocked, you're surprised, you're happy, you're like everything. Quick explain Ngumu. Yeah, explain Ngumu. It's a lot of things going on there. So yeah, so also in the next 10 years, I actually look forward to having my music move people, because I want to do, and I think sometimes that's also a flaw of mine, but I want to do very intentional music. There are times that I will do commercial music, of course, like I will do music for the moment. I'm a piano in a hit, actually in the studio, niimba mapiano, hata sijui naimba nini, but I'm just singing so that ngoma ibambe, you know, that time. But most of my music, I want to do songs that move people, that appeal to your emotions and talk to you and kind of like comfort you in those moments where no one else can understand what you're going through. Yeah, I would say that talks about very sad songs and somber songs. Reason being, I think I've shared this with you before, and most of the people that I talk to, sadness is one of the most sincere feelings. No one wants to be sad. No one likes being sad. Of course, there are those crazy people up on the side, but majority of the people do not fake sadness. They don't look forward to being sad. People fake happiness.
Yeah, true.
For good and bad reasons. But sadness is very hard to find people intentionally faking sadness. So for me, sadness is a very sincere and real emotion, and I want to make music that also kind of like comforts you during these times where you're not able to talk to anyone, because that's what music did for me anyway. So I just want to extend the same to other people as well. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I'd love for us to keep talking.
Yeah.
But because of time, we're going to have to. Yeah, we have to cut it short.
Yeah.
But hoping that we'll get to do this again sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
So where can people find you?
Oh yeah. First of all, my name is Nasibi, Nasibi. Nasibi. King Nasibi. Yeah, so ukienda hapo hivyo nitaje IG utanipata pale King Nasibi, you know, King royalty and shit like that. So
where can they find your music?
My music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, Apple Music. Malifu nasikizanga wimbo. Anywhere you listen to music, you find me at Nasibi as well. Nasibi. YouTube. Hakuna ma video clips hapo kama unataka kuona vile nakaa. So umesikia tu sauti yangu. Maybe upendi sauti yangu, but upenda sura yangu. So enda IG fanya kweli. Enda YouTube as well. Fanya kweli. Yeah, I honestly also have a couple of shows lined up throughout the year. Cannot wait to interact with you guys live. As I've said, performing is one of my best activities to do musically. So cannot wait for you guys to kind of like experience that as well.
Yeah, I'll put all the links in the show notes. So make sure you check them out. And there's a question that I love to ask all my guests. What is art to you?
That's very good. I think art is an expression. Art is an extension of whoever is doing it. I think that's what I'd say. Art is an extension of whoever is performing the act of art. So, the way you talk at certain settings is artistry. The way you paint as Derek is artistry, as Ibalai is artistry. The way I sing, it's artistry because it's an extension of me as Nasibi.
Yeah,
that's how I will define art. So I think it's an extension of whoever is performing the act.
Awesome. Thanks so much for doing this. It really means a lot to me, and I'm grateful for the time that we've been talking together. I hope we get to do this again. Yeah. Acha nikuwe emotional kidogo, acha nikuwe emotional kidogo. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very grateful for coming in to do this, and I'm grateful for you for listening in. So I hope I get to see you in the next episode.
Appreciate it, bro. Nitakulia sasa. Joa sasa kutoa machozi wadora. Unafanya nishangae nitafanya nini man?